Have you ever felt like you're not making a difference? I know some days it feels like we're working awfully hard, trying to serve God and being faithful, and it doesn't really matter. I've been really greatly encouraged by my reading in the book of Acts recently, and wanted to share with you a little bit about the person of Philip. Now, the first time we see Philip, he is listed in Acts 6 when he's chosen in a list of men. He was just one of many men that were chosen to serve in a very practical way. They were going to serve the Grecian Jews and serve food in tables. So they just were doing things like cleaning tables, serving food. And it probably didn't feel that significant. He was just one of many chosen. So that's the first time we see him. A couple chapters later, though, the church is growing, but it's also being greatly persecuted by Saul. This is Acts 8. And it says, as the church was scattered, this is 8:4. It says, those who had been scattered preached the word wherever they went. Philip went down to a city in Samaria and proclaimed the Christ there. And it talks about the amazing miracles that happened. It says, when the crowds heard Philip and saw the miraculous signs he did, they all paid close attention to what he said. With shrieks, evil spirits came out of many, and many paralytics and cripples were healed. So there was great joy in that city. So Philip had to leave Jerusalem because of persecution. And what did he do? He followed God where he was sent to Samaria, a place that was known to be the enemies of the Jews, probably a place he wouldn't want to go. But he went there faithfully and he preached God faithfully there. And miraculous things happened. People's lives were changed and there was great joy there. And the third instance I see is just later in that chapter. And it's a very famous story about Philip being called by God to speak to the Ethiopian eunuch. He was someone that didn't live near him, but God called him there. First, it says an angel spoke to him. And secondly, in verse 8:29 says, the Spirit told Philip, go to that chariot and stay near it. So he was in the middle of nowhere. He was speaking to someone of a different race, someone very different from himself, a eunuch who was a servant, completely sexually altered man. And he probably had nothing in common with him. But Philip listened to God. He was faithful. And amazing things happened. This man was so curious about his faith. He asked him so many questions, and Philip got to share the gospel with him. And this man immediately accepted it and was baptized. So I just love those three examples. One, where he's just working hard. He's called just to be a list of many, one of many to serve in a real practical way. Secondly, he just goes where God sends him because he's persecuted, and he just shares Christ there. And thirdly, he goes and listens and he gets to share Christ and see a man's life changed. I don't think that God was more pleased with him in any of those instances than the other. I think he was pleased with him because he was faithful and because he listened. And God sometimes chooses to use our faithfulness as we serve, working hard, cleaning, doing the practical things. Sometimes he uses the words we say to bring others to him. Sometimes he sends us out to talk to one person who might seem like, why am I being sent here? Why am I talking to this one person? And that person is so curious that they have so many questions and they respond immediately to the gospel. So I was just encouraged because I think it's really important that we're just faithful where God has planted us and to do the jobs he's put in front of us, whatever that may be. And sometimes we won't see fruit and sometimes we'll see great harvest. So keep going. Talk to you soon.